Bro, I be telling you, bro, you be doing it wrong. There was only one way we could come back.
Hey, never mind.
Hey, relax. We gonna talk.
Now we gonna talk.
Relax. Hey.
I could never be nobody
He's
number one fan. Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. You pussies can't get put outside America for nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm a hit maker, y'all depend on. Backstage in my city,
I'm just trying to figure out where the other.
Relax. He's coming.
Slander Cole.
He MIA.
No, he not.
Yes,
He geared up. Know that.
I mean,
He geared up.
Chris Brown and Quavo went back and forth before K-Dot showed up.
And
So.
you told me get him what? How many hours you say get a nigga?
Your last one brick.
96.
Really not on shit. They make
It's way
excuses
past
for you
96.
'cause
No,
you see me
it's
lit.
72.
Pull your
It's been
contract
72.
because we gotta see
Cause I
Since
said
Drake
that-
dropped this?
No, since he dropped,
He got to drop two for him to drop one.
Maroon 5 need a verse, you
Bro,
better
just
make it
relax.
bro.
You want him. I'm not gonna lie. You want him to stay quiet.
Who?
You want Kendrick to stay.
I don't.
Kendrick ain't done his 50 yet. That's
Travis
the
got you wiped down. Savage got you wiped down. Hey, welcome. Yes, I already know. We didn't record last week. I'm sorry we didn't give y'all a heads up. As y'all see, we in a different location. We got motion going on. We touched the A. Not gonna lie. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, JJ, shut your.
I'm thinking, no, mind. What else happened? Yeah, different location. Had to hit the A. Made some content with Aaron Duncan. Shout out Unnecessary Bluntness. After y'all watch this, go tune in right now. It should have went live last night around 7 p.m. I believe is what he said. So we did that. It's just been a lot going on. So apologies. We should have informed y'all. I told my producer, I told my co-host we needed to record just an audio version before we left the A. They said no.
No, that is not how it went, bro.
Not at all.
We were supposed to do it, but everybody woke up late, so it's like we ain't really had no time. It was a long night.
It was. Drake dropped, by the way, if you didn't know, if you've been living under a rock.
Every song that made it on a chart, he got from Drizzy.
No cap, that's real rap.
You gotta stay up out my business, nigga. Shout out to the hooper that be busting out the gritty. We know why you mad, nigga. I ain't even tripping.
I'ma keep it to
All that
myself.
little heartbroken Twitter shit for bitches. This for all the top dogs. Drop and give me 50. Drop.
What that nigga say?
Yeah, because we got to
And that
save
fucking
face.
song y'all got to not start the beef with
that's
us.
it.
This shit being
Say we got
brewing
what?
in a pot
Gotta
now,
save
heating
face.
up. I don't care what Cole think that dot shit was
Yeah.
weak as fuck. Champagne tripping, he is not fucking easing up.
Yeah.
Nigga call it
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know why. You want to
piece it up? Nah, pussy, now you on your own when you
Terrence
speaking
is
up.
watching the
You done rolled
game.
deep to this, you not
He's
fucking deep enough.
it's no longer just fun and games. It's an addiction now. So y'all pray for him if y'all don't mind.
You not fucking sneaking up. Cornball your show money.
Merch money feed us.
I'ma let you niggas work it out because I seen enough. This ain't even everything I know, don't wait the demon up. This ain't even everything I know, don't wait the demon up. Drop and give me 50, all you fuck niggas teaming up.
What top 5 you smoking on, Kendrick? Yeah, drop. Yeah, hey, slide.
For the mob in a spot.
I ain't gonna lie, these industry hosts done brought this shit to his knees. Over here passing secrets. From nigga to nigga passing the secrets. That's wild.
Yeah, that's nasty work, man. Welcome to Four Panthers Fans Only. I'm your host, JJ.
I'm your co-host, Terrence. Welcome back. Been a long time, but hey, we back. Tune in.
No cap.
Ain't it? I'm the man behind the camera, producer Tavian. You know what it is. We happy to be back, man. Brand new space, new energy. Here he go. That's exactly why we didn't need a couch.
I know, bro. It don't be me. It's just because I'm big, bro. Like, I got to find a crevice that's going to be comfy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it has been a while. To be honest, it seemed like it was a lot longer than it actually was. Like I said, we took a trip down to Atlanta, got some great content created with a friend of the show, Aaron Duncan. Like I said, if y'all haven't already, if y'all don't know about him, go check out his page. Once y'all leave here, y'all want to spend 15, 20 minutes with us and go check him out, then come back. By all means. See, I don't got space. I don't got space.
God.
Just relax, man. I gotta can I get adjusted?
I didn't know it was that much adjusting in the world. God dang.
But yeah, man. So we are officially back. We are 24 hours away from the draft. A lot of rumors have been going on. A lot of he said, she said. A lot of I'm gonna go ahead and say it, Xavier Leggete. Just relax. You're doing a lot.
Yeah, I don't like it.
We are gonna dive into that. Speaking of Aaron Duncan, we're gonna have a phone conversation with him just about his takes on the draft and what direction we should go, in his opinion. I'm going to dive into that. Also, Dionte Johnson had a couple comments that he made yesterday that were very, very interesting to me personally that we'll dive into. So I believe we have a good show lined up. It's great to be back. Like I said, Terrence is watching the baseball game. If you feel like he's a little distant, money is on the line, excuse him. We're going to go through our juice as well. Is the juice worth the squeeze with our betting segment for today? So I believe we have a great show for you guys. So, again, appreciate y'all tuning in. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe at the G2S Network on YouTube. You can find us there. For Panthers fans, only on Instagram, TikTok, all DSPs. Twitter, you can find us at FPFO_podcast. And, yeah, appreciate y'all being here. How you feeling?
I feel great. Feels good to be back. Had an amazing day today at work. Yeah, in a new spot. So everything is good right now. Everything is good. Yeah, that's all I got. The fuck are you shaking your head for, nigga?
Nothing. I'm happy that you're in a great mood and that you're good. You told me 5 minutes ago you had no energy for me. So,
I mean,
I'm just taking what I can get. Pause. Whoa.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
No Diddy. What you got? How you feeling,
man?
brother?
I feel great, man. It feels good to be in the new space. You know, I'm loving it. Definitely want to shout out ATL. Showed the FPFO team some love, man. It was a great time down there.
Great time.
Love the city, man. Love the people. Love the energy. That festival was fire too. You can't really beat all you can drink. So if you're ever in the city, man, look for the festivals that they got going.
Yeah, they got a seafood one this weekend. Still all you can drink seafood one.
All you can eat and drink?
No, they make you pay for the seafood, but they still got the
really?
all you can drink shit like wine and beer and, you know, all
They
types
got
of
some
stuff.
heavy pours too.
Yes.
Oh,
I'll
my
tell you
God.
that.
Shout out to the lady at the end of the tent.
Nah, for sure. With the IPA. What was
yeah.
it? IPAs? That she was pouring?
Something like that.
Whatever, she was just pouring the whole can.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I
Because
mean-
by the time I hit her up about 3 or 4 times, I was seeing double.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Lot of alcohol was consumed. A lot of beautiful melanated, just queens. Just I mean, my God. So shout out to Dunc for showing us a good time for sure. Put us on the festival wave. Where do we need to go? I just feel like I just want to talk to y'all for a little while, bro. Hey, I'm gonna just tell y'all, man, y'all gotta watch the niggas y'all around, cause they'll do some shiesty shit, like not hit you up for a week and a half, not see if you still alive, still breathing, and then start making demands. I was told for me to even be able to enter the gate that I had to bring drinks. Now, I'm going to just ask y'all a question. Do y'all think I did that? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments below. I didn't. Matter of fact, I'm going to say
Y'all see the drinks on the table?
Wow. Are you really? Hey, see, that's that acting shit. I tell you, boy. Where do we need to go? Voluntary mini camp started today at 11:30, or excuse me, started yesterday at 11:30. I didn't see any reports of anybody not being there, so that was good news, I guess you could say, especially with going ahead and getting Derrick Brown's contract out of the way. I believe Derrick Brown would have held out, but good thing we don't have to worry about that. I think for me personally, and we're just going to try and just dive right into it. For me personally, I think the most important thing that came out of the first day press conferences as well as just the first day of mini camp was this clip right here. And we're going to talk about it. I want to get Terrence's opinion because I like seeing him get fired up a little bit, and I want to see what you got to say. So,
Dave told me that as soon as I got here, like I'm playing the X. You're gonna be the first read in the progression almost every play. So, because my unique skill set I bring to the table, and I'm gonna utilize it. Dave.
that was Dionte Johnson. recently added to the squad via the Dionte Jackson trade. So I want to get your feedback on that, because for me personally, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it could have been a recruiting mechanism, but in that same breath, don't go get to telling the media what I told you behind closed doors, number one. Number two, I think that would begin to start forming bad habits in Bryce if every single read, the first read, was to Dionte Johnson.
It's just not even possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's possible either. And another thing that almost tells me, just kind of foreshadowing a little bit, but of course I want to get y'all's opinion on it as well, is if he's already telling Dionte that, does that mean that we're not even going wide receiver at 33 or 39? Because why would you tell somebody you have those plans for them if you're going to spend that amount of draft capital? So how do you feel about the comments, and just give me your feedback overall just on that whole situation?
I wouldn't reach that far to say like we're not gonna go receiver in the draft, just because I mean Dionte Johnson can turn out to be just a pretty mediocre receiver, which I know there's people who probably think that regardless, but I mean I think it was a recruiting mechanism as well. Just because like I feel like it's hard for you to tell a guy that he's gonna be the first read on every play when you had a guy with Adam Thielen who went over 1,000 last year. So, and
that's weird.
Who was obviously Bryce's favorite target and who he looked more comfortable throwing the ball to. So, it doesn't really make any sense, especially Adam Thielen has a year under his belt with Bryce. Dionte Johnson has nothing, obviously. So, I don't know. And yeah, I just feel like they let off too much to the media, bro. Like, same thing with Xavier Leggete. Like, just slow down, calm down, bro. Like, let your play speak for itself. Like, that's not even something that you really even need to be telling teams, I feel like. And so... Yeah,
I mean, because if I'm a defensive coordinator and I hear that, I mean, cool.
Yeah, it's just unrealistic anyway. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. So,
you can definitely look at it that way. Or you can look at it in the lens of, like, it goes ahead and sets a clear pecking order within the wide receiver room. Like, hey, Adam, we appreciate you for what you did last season. But, you know, you being as good as you did last season only gave us a grand total of 2 wins. So, like, we love you, and you're still going to be a part of this offense, but this is Dionte Johnson's wide receiver room now. He is the number one. He will be the first option when we roll it out. And it kind of coincides with something that I saw on Twitter, unconfirmed, but allegedly Canales told the media that Bryce didn't play under center enough last season. So if you're going to go ahead and put Bryce under center, to me that says quicker reads, right? Because part of your progression is spent dropping back. You have to get back there first to be able to throw the ball.
Yes.
And so you're going to be looking to get it out quicker, and the best way to get it out quicker is going to be to get it to somebody who has phenomenal release and phenomenal route running, and I think that Dionte Johnson fits both of those, which would make sense as to why he would be the first read on a lot of plays. That doesn't mean he's going to get the ball every time, but we're going to look at you first because we believe that you can release and separate the fastest, and we're going to be speeding up the tempo on this offense a little bit because we want to pick up the pace.
Well, I want to ask you a question. Well, not necessarily, but I just want to rebuttal to something that you said. If this is one of those things where you're setting a clear pecking order, as you said, wouldn't that need to be something that Dave Canales came out and said and not Dionte Johnson? Because, like, first and foremost, and I say this with all due respect, everybody that's new, relax. That's number one. Because last time I seen Dionte Johnson, you wasn't looking the best. And again, I'm saying this with all due respect. I'm saying it respectfully. But I'm just telling everybody just calm down because it's seeming like, you know, a couple players want to come in and do this and that. It's the same thing with the Jadeveon Clowney and quote-unquote helping recruit Stephon Gilmore. That's great and that's phenomenal, and I hope that comes to fruition. But just calm down. It's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff very, very early in the season. For me personally, and I want you to rebuttal or tell me, give me more context of what I just said, but to me personally, Dionte Johnson doesn't have the pull to just come in the locker room and just say, yeah, I'm the number one receiver.
Yeah.
Even if Dave Canales did tell him that, that's something that you keep to your chest. You don't just come out and say that and tell the media.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like I said earlier, I just don't really think that that's his place, one. And then two, I just don't think he has that kind of pull to come in. And I don't think he's that caliber receiver to be like, oh, I'm automatically number one when I get here.
Right. Like, it's just like, relax, bro.
Typically, he wouldn't be, but given the state of the Panthers receiver room, he is. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. He is, honestly, on paper, the clear-cut number one. He's the best receiver that the locker room. Right now,
I wouldn't
that the room has.
I would say that would be a valuable case if Adam Thielen didn't go for a ban.
Adam Thielen's going to be 35, 34 this upcoming season. I mean, Adam Thielen is like very much so at the if not at the end of his prime, at the very tail end of his prime. I believe he's already at the end of his prime. I think last year was kind of a unique situation, given that all of the outside pieces that were added didn't actually pan out. The offensive line didn't pan out. The other receiver, DJ Chark, didn't. Because DJ Chark was legitimately supposed to be the number one. I know we remember that conversation back last summer. Last offseason, we thought DJ Chark would be number one. We thought Terrace Marshall would be number two. And then Jonathan.
With the potential to be number one.
And Jonathan Mingo and Adam Thielen were supposed to be battling out for that third slot.
Yes.
And that just didn't pan out that way, and it turned out to be Adam Thielen. And we also thought, what's his face? Hayden Hurst was going to be a phenomenal addition in the passing game, especially leaving training camp when Bryce only looked at Hayden Hurst. So, like, I feel like last season was a bit of an anomaly and kind of played in Adam Thielen's favor in that he was the only competent receiver turned out on the roster. And I think while Dionte Johnson might not be the best receiver in the league, he is competent. We can at least say that Dionte Johnson is competent receiver. And in this wide receiver room, a competent receiver can go over 1,000.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good point.
I just still feel like you can't necessarily crown him as the number one receiver above Adam Thielen when we just haven't really seen his connection with Bryce. Like, I just feel like it was something that he should have just kept to himself.
You just keep it to yourself.
And to that point, I will concede. Like, I feel like this was a conversation between Canales and Dionte that probably was never supposed to hit the media. Like, we were just supposed to see the results of this post-training camp in preseason and in the early weeks of the season. We were supposed to see, like, okay, yeah, Dionte Johnson's clearly number one. But this is also a guy in Pittsburgh who was drafted to be their number one. I think he was drafted at a time. Well, he was drafted in Pittsburgh at a time when they had Juju still on the roster, who at the time was a number one. Then they had Dionte. Then they had Chase Claypool, who had a pretty decent rookie year. So it was hard for him to establish himself then. And then they go and draft. They trade Juju, trade Chase, or they let go of Juju, trade Chase.
Right.
And then add George Pickens in the draft. And then George goes ahead and skyrockets above Dionte. So, like, in Deonte's mind, he's always been a number one, and now is finally his opportunity to show it. And he probably got a little bit excited following a conversation with his coach saying, hey, you're going to be our number one, and let it slip to the media. He is human.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. And I'm fine with him saying, okay, yeah, I'm going to be the X receiver. But you going that step further, and that's kind of where the disconnect for me is you going that step further and saying Canales told you that every single play you're going to be the first read on every progression. That, to me, is just preposterous and it's dumb as hell.
Can we play that sound bit one more time?
Yes.
And just before you pull it up, I just
they told me that as soon as I got here.
I just feel like you can't. The coach can't really determine that for the quarterback, especially like after the year that Bryce had, like where it was struggling getting receivers open.
But he can.
But not really.
He can based off of play design and play call.
I mean, yeah, and that's fine and that's cute. But they tried that with Hayden Hurst as well.
But if you feel
and we saw how that went.
If Canales is coming in, right, and he feels like last year Frank Wright may have put too much. Frank Wright and Thomas Brown may have put too much on Bryce early on. We're like, okay, hey, we're going to dumb down the playbook a little bit. This is your read. This is your progression. You're going boom, boom, boom. This is always going to be your first read. Like, if I'm calling a play and I'm telling you what your read progression is, and every play that I call, your read progression goes from Dionte Johnson to the rest of the receiving core, Bryce, you really don't got no fucking choice but to look at Dionte every time. Because that's the progression. That's the play
that
call.
just handicaps the offense.
Yeah, it handicaps the offense. It does,
but
and
we've
the growth.
seen it happen before. And again, y'all know I'm a Cowboys fan. I hate to always use this as an example, but it's the best thing I know. The 2 seasons ago when Dak led the league in interceptions, right? Mike McCarthy that offseason was like, we're going to dumb down the playbook. We're going to dial it back. We're going to limit his progressions. And then slowly as the season progressed last year, the Cowboys started to open up the playbook. And this is for Dak in year 7. year 7 or 8 of being in the league, and they slowly opened it. And then what you ended up with the result of Dak being number 2 in MVP voting. You slowly, like when you have a new relationship with the quarterback and a coach, you slowly expand that playbook and you get more comfortable with their play calling. You see what Bryce likes, you see what Canales likes to call. Y'all start to build that rapport. But if we have to start out by force feeding Dionte Johnson, then so be it. Like but we have to get some continuity.
It's that to me is nasty.
Yeah,
it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty to watch the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, but eventually it all meshed.
And I don't even want to. And I know y'all are going to crucify me for this, y'all too specifically. But it's just like, and actually y'all might not, because it's just, for me personally, that being the mindset, and I get it, and I respect it, and I think that you're right, because that could be the thought process. But how much does that hinder your rookie quarterback? Is that really helping him? Like, I don't want to have to curate a playbook where every read progression is this guy first. Yeah, because what happens when that guy is no longer there?
Then you go to 2.
You can make it simple. No. You can make it simple by not saying that you gotta you gotta look at this guy first every time.
Yeah, just read the fucking offense.
Because what you said about Dak, when they made it simple for Dak, his number 1 receiver was CD, and CD is head and shoulders better than any other receiver on the team. I can't confidently say that about Dionte Johnson when I seen what Adam Thielen did last year. So that would make sense if I had a CD Lamb and then the rest of these niggas. But that's just not the case.
I agree
unfortunately.
With that.
I mean, it's a fair point, but I just feel, I do feel very firmly in this, like, you simplify the playbook, and I feel like simplifying the playbook does help a young quarterback, and I feel like it's going to be beneficial to Bryce to just dumb it down a little bit at least early on. Like, because we're saying this without even setting expectations for the season. I think we here on this set, at least me and Terrence specifically, had agreed that the expectations for this season was progression, and that's it. There was no playoffs, there was no win total. We just want to see the team overall get better and continue to build and take steps in the right direction. And I feel like this is step 1. This is your X. You look at him. This is our best pass catcher on the roster. You look at him, then you can look at Thielen can be number 2. When it's not like just because Dionte Johnson is the first read, Thielen automatically falls to like read 4. Like, no, Thielen, he's a little older. He might need a little bit more time to get open. Thielen, then.
So then I'm to assume, like I said from the beginning, that you're not drafting a wide receiver then. Because if I got to go based off of what Xavier Leggete said, which I'll play that in a second as well, but if I got to go based off of what he said Canales told him he want him to come in this bitch and be like Mike Evans. So imagine me telling bro right here that he's going to be the X when I'm telling bro that I want him to be just like a receiver that's gone for over a band for over a decade and 2+ years.
Well, if Leggete comes in and he proves that he can be a Mike Evans, then you can slide Dionte into the Chris Godwin role.
Like, I think you can be an X and every play not be drawn up to go to you.
Every play not be the first read.
I feel like it's no problem with him telling Dionte Johnson, like, you're the X, but you have plays where certain receivers, they're supposed to be the primary person that you look at. It's not going to always be the X receiver.
But I feel like this is even more like, I feel like we're getting hung up on the fact that he said that he was going to be the first read. I feel like this is more about the fact of we're training Bryce's eyes. And it just so happens to be Dionte Johnson is in that position right now. But because the overarching theme is we're training Bryce's eyes to read this offense properly, because Canales wants this offense to be ran a certain way, and he believes that Bryce has the ability to run it that way. So now we're going and training his eyes.
Well, use better verbiage.
And it's easy.
Well, I'm not going to lie, the way he – no, mind. He can't articulate his words well. I can already tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's like if that's the case, then use better words. Like, that was – for if it's
You're talking about me or Dionte Johnson?
No, Dionte Johnson.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I was like, bro, what do you want me to say?
No, if it's that thought process, then – what he said doesn't correlate with that.
Yeah,
I don't really know him.
I play the clip.
Dave told me that as soon as I got here, like I'm playing the X. You're gonna be the first read in a progression almost every play. So, because my unique skill set I bring to the table, and I'm gonna utilize it.
And even that, it sounds like he was fucking paraphrasing. Like Dave probably added a lot more
context
when they
That's
had
very
that
true.
conversation, and he took in his mind it processed as you're the number one, you're gonna be the first read, everything's running through you. That's all he heard.
I would love to hear
that's
the
true.
question because
there's
for
no
some
context
reason
there.
I feel like the question didn't even ask him all of that. Honestly,
I mean,
and niggas just started talking.
just
That's
got there
what I feel
chatting.
like.
Yeah, just got there chatting
You
like,
were just
whoa,
excited.
chill. I mean, I guess so. And then, like I said, based off of the conversation we just had and the clip that you just heard, it's gonna pose the question to me again. If that's the case, then why are we telling this particular prospect what we've told him?
So who's lying?
Potentially would be the Carolina
Xavier
Panthers.
Two
And
things can be
my
true.
understanding is that's a team that has shown a lot of interest in you, whether that was the top 30 visit or coming to your pro day. What have your interactions been like with the Carolina Panthers?
I done met with the Panthers about 4 or 5 times. Man. I mean, the relationship.
times?
Oh yeah, man. The relationship that it just keep continuing to grow. And they really hoping that I can make it to that second round, man. They keep on telling me, man, that if I'm sitting at 33, they're gonna take me.
It's capped somewhere.
Now that is worse. Now that is way worse than, in my opinion, than what Dionte said. Because nigga, why the fuck are you giving up our draft strategy? If I told you that I was gonna pick you at 33, and I hope that you fucking slide to me, and now you're out here telling everybody that I told you I'm picking you at 33, now they're gonna go on their fucking draft boards and be like, I might not get a chance to get him. I'm gonna go ahead and snag him right here at the end of the first.
They could have did that on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, they could have did that on purpose as well. It could be a play from the Carolina Panthers, but it also could be a play from Xavier Leggete and his team.
True.
Because
true.
yeah,
So
unfortunately,
I'll let him breathe.
Yeah,
My fault. I'll pull it back. I'll pull it back because I was about to spaz.
Nah, because though I would love to play for the Carolina Panthers. That's my hometown team growing up. At the same time, I'm trying to curate generational wealth. So these niggas think that they getting me at 33, and they done told me allegedly that I'm going to 33 and they're going to draft me. But I'm not going to hold you. I don't believe that there's that many receivers better than me in this draft. So cool, let's play that game. Now, 24, 25, wherever the Chiefs are, I'm looking at them, looking at a couple of these other teams that are,
Baltimore.
a lot better, right? Baltimore, a lot better situation than Carolina is. And I'm like, yeah. So if y'all let me drop and y'all think y'all going to be able to get me on that second round turn, it's not going to happen because Carolina is already saying this. So now I'm putting pressure on you with the Carolina Panthers having the first round over or the first pick in the second round overall. Yeah, I'm putting pressure on you to come get me in the first because that adds another zero to my check.
Fair.
So, I mean, and this is another one of those things where I kind of agree with you in saying relax. Everybody real chatty, man. Social media, never mind. Let me not even go there, bro. I'm gonna just say, a lot of niggas be chatting nowadays, and it's just like, bro, just relax. Everybody, I don't like it personally, but it goes back to the conversation, like I said, because this was only one clip that came out of the conversation, that podcast, whatever, the Zoom call that he had with this guy, and I don't know who he is. I apologize because I would give you your credit if I knew. But this is just one clip that came out of that because the other clip, like I referenced earlier, was him saying Dave Canales told him that he wants him to be like a Mike Evans. That to me, that is a cause for pause because now, but I understand that it's right around draft time. Like I mentioned earlier, the draft is 24 hours away, but we're getting a lot of reports. We're seeing a lot of things. But the conversation that Dionte Johnson had with the media yesterday gives me cause to pause, and it brings up the question to me, what are the Carolina Panthers actually going to do at 33 and 39? Because you're not going to try and get an average player at 39 because you have those back-to-back. You have them, 6-7 picks apart. So it poses the question to me, are you going to waste that capital on somebody that you're already deferring and making a number 2 to Dionte Johnson if this is exactly how that conversation went? So that's why I even posed a question to y'all about, is Dionte Johnson capping? Which I don't believe that he's capping. I think that context could have been lost. We didn't hear the question, but there's a conversation to be had there because for me personally, I was under the belief that it was a guarantee either at 33 or 39 we're going receiver.
I think it could be, and this is just something that like hit my mind as you were saying that, was like I think maybe what Dionte Johnson said could reveal their true intentions in the draft. In that, because now I'm just like sitting back and actually thinking about it. You invested in Terrace Marshall 2 years ago.
Three, right?
Two?
I think it's like 3.
It's been like 3. It might
be
4.
He came out with Jamar Chase.
So you invested in him 3 years ago. You invested in Mingo last season, and now you went out and got Dionte Johnson,
yes.
And so maybe they're like, okay, hey, one of these young receivers that we pulled the trigger on in the draft, one of them's got to pan out.
And you have ISM as well.
One of them's got to pan out.
Who was brought in.
So if we have that and Dionte Johnson, that gives us a little bit of breathing room in the draft, and we can go actually after a true position of need, a la a cornerback, a la an edge rusher, a la a center.
I mean, I think you still have to go receiver. Like, I think
you need another weapon,
but
bro.
it pushes that need
him
back to like maybe the 3rd or 4th round. Maybe we don't need to go receiver in the 2nd.
I don't think
I'm just saying, like, realistically, that's
a good way to think about it.
That's just my thought of what we just, everything that we've talked about, from Dionte Johnson to hearing what Xavier Leggete had to say. Just saying, it's a possibility that the Panthers might not value receiver as much as the fans value receiver in this upcoming draft, because they know this is one of the deepest receiver classes that we've seen in years. And they know that, hey, we don't have to necessarily reach for a guy at the top of the 2nd when we can go shore up the trenches, shore up the outside on our defense. We can go get a true position of need versus we have pieces at the receiver that we believe can get us by.
I mean, but get you by for how long? Because
just 1 year till we get our 1st round pick back.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's nasty.
I know you don't like to hear it, but I'm just letting you know, because we're also, you think about who we're talking about. We're talking about Dave Tepper. Like, I know there's a new management staff in place and everything, but we're still talking about Dave Tepper, who thinks he like knows every fucking thing in the world, and he could still be of the mindset, while he says he's taking a hands-off approach. What do you do? He could also be saying like, hey, I invested in these guys. I thought they were the right picks coming out. I want them to pan out.
He's not taking the hands off approach.
I don't think so either.
Which I kind of, and I don't even, because I damn started the music, and I didn't mean to cut you off like that. My apologies. But I just seen a report the other day about how he had been in on, and it might have been with Xavier Leggete. Matter of fact, it might have been multiple clips that I missed from him, because I was seeing a lot of the quotes. But it was saying that all 3 or 4 visits that he had with the team, whether it be top 30, whatever the case may be,
Tepper was there. Makes sense.
So, yeah, he kind of had me fooled as well. I think he's just being very, very behind the scenes and quiet.
That I'll give him a pass on.
Yeah,
my nigga, if I'm about to make you a millionaire, I need to know who the fuck I'm about to make a millionaire.
I don't.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes,
That's why you brought in Dave Tepper and Brad and all of these niggas to handle football operations.
Yeah, but it ain't coming out of Brad and them's pocket. It's coming out of my fucking pocket.
Still
I need to know what type of nigga I'm about to make rich.
I can still pull up and get a conversation out of you. Nigga, I'm the owner. Fuck.
Yeah, God.
You need to have 3, 4 fucking conversations with me?
I mean, if that's what it takes. If we need to make a decision and we need to have that conversation, then we'll have it 3, 4 times. 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's just what it is.
I mean,
fair enough.
Now, yeah.
And now what? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and now I need Dave Tepper to like, comment, and subscribe, just like the rest of y'all.
Nah, for real. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're very, very, very close to 500 subscribers. That is going to be a major milestone for us. We set out probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago with a timeline on where we wanted to be. I would say for me personally, I think we've exceeded that. I love the rate at which we're growing. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We have a lot of crazy things coming up, a lot of giveaways. Actually, since we're here, we are doing a giveaway, and it is going to launch actually maybe about an hour or 2 after you guys hear this, if you watch it at 9 a.m. on Wednesday when we release. We are doing a giveaway, a jersey giveaway. Any rookie of your choosing. Last year we did any player. This year, because we're doing it so early in the season, we're gonna do any rookie. So whether it be Leggete, whether it be McConkey, whether it be Power, what's his name, Jackson Powers,
yeah.
Whoever it may be, whether it be 2nd through 7th round, whoever you want, we're going to give you the opportunity to win a free jersey. You're going to have to do a couple of things. You're going to have to comment. You're going to have to subscribe. You're going to have to follow. But that being said, the more things that you do, the more entries you get. So I think I think that's a fair exchange.
It's more than fair.
Yeah, I think it's a fair exchange. But that's just one of the many giveaways we have planned. Gonna do a ticket giveaway. We're gonna have some autographed memorabilia that we're giving away during training camp or after training camp. A lot of great things going on. A lot of phenomenal content, in my opinion, being created. I'm going to roll out a new series this year with some game day vlogs. We're heading out to Vegas with Dunc and a couple other friends, things of that nature. So we got a lot going on. Pray for us. No, pray for us, literally, because the way we got in Atlanta, I think you might have to multiply that by 1,000.
Might. Yeah. It ain't no might.
Yeah, actually, no, you're 100% right. So yeah, but like our producer said, like, comment, subscribe. A lot of major things going on. We have some big news coming. I'm not going to break it yet because I feel like it's too early, but after the schedule drops, we'll break some news to you guys as well about another giveaway we're going to do later on in the season. But obviously you have to be in tune with that. So like, comment, subscribe. Go follow on Instagram. Go follow on X. We have a lot of things that we do over all platforms. We just did a content creator mock draft bracket challenge, something phenomenal that our content manager Dylan put together. Great idea, gave us the opportunity to collab with different personalities and content creators in the space, in the Carolina Panthers space. We're big on collaboration. It was a phenomenal opportunity, a phenomenal idea by our content manager. So make sure you're following on all platforms because you never know what you're going to get. We're not one of those pages that you get in the same recycled microwave shit over and over again. That's not what we do. That's not how we go about our business.
And I got clipped in the first round. I just find that hard to fucking believe. Honestly.
I'm not going to lie. It was mediocre.
I mean, you thought yours was better?
I thought mine was a lot better.
It wasn't. And honestly, mine would have probably went a little further than that if my first draft actually saved, because I had some heat in there.
That's how I felt about mine too. And I'm not gonna lie, when I got my grades back, I had a lot of A+. And we just made the executive decision to let you represent FPFO. Now we let him represent FPFO as a whole, and what do he go out and do?
Clip.
In the first bitch-ass round. Boy. Is the juice worth the squeeze? If you're not familiar with this segment, I don't know what to tell you. You just got to do your research. But I guess I'll give a little insight. Obviously, betting just became legal in North Carolina probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago.
And we're addicted already.
A lot of money has been won in this room. A lot of money has been lost in this room as well. For me personally,
me my money.
Take this however you want. I checked my stats the other day. I'm still net plus 500. So I feel good about where I'm at currently. But is the juice worth the squeeze? This is when we give you guys a parlay. Bare minimum plus 500. Content manager Dylan, producer Tavian, me, Terrence, give you guys
Why you
a
point at
parlay.
Terrence and say me? Never mind.
I did. Hey, no, you're right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
My brain. I got a lot going on.
You're trying to be on your body. What it is.
So
No diddy.
Wow. Got you. But yeah, so we give a parlay. We'll start off with Dylan like we typically do. Let me see.
Wait.
Go.
Shout out to Dylan.
Shout out to Dylan
for winning last week.
He did 2 weeks ago. He did win. Dylan is currently 1-0, and this is something that we have.
1-1.
My apologies. I tried to gas a nigga. You not living like that. You not living like that. My fault. 1-1. This is something internally we got. We got our leaderboard at the end of the season. Whoever has the best record, 150 from him, 150 from him, 150 from Dylan. Straight to me because everybody's gassed up right now. Everybody's gassed up right now. So we do have something internal going on with that as well. Follow Instagram because every single Wednesday, about an hour and a half after we release, we do put the actual card out so you can actually see it because when we go through it, we know it's kind of fast. And we don't want to mess you guys up on that front. Okay, here we go. First parlay from Dylan. 6-pick parlay plus 565. That's another reason why he's even has a win. Is because, nigga, can you give us some juice? Dylan, please.
Don't worry. I got enough juice for the whole fucking team this week. So just let it ride. Just let it ride.
Okay, bet. Is the juice worth the squeeze? NFL Draft Edition for Dylan here. Kool-Aid McKinstry, minus 350. Jerzon Newton, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Jackson Powers Johnson, Michael Penix Jr., A.D. Mitchell, and Xavier Worthy.
But what are these for?
All to be selected in the first round.
Okay.
All to be selected in the first round. Again, follow, because I know I went through it quick. But that is a plus 565. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Yes or no, Tavian? Go. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's safe.
I guess it's fairly safe.
From all the mocks
plus
I've seen.
500.
From all the mocks I've seen, all those are the names that keep getting repeated. So,
but I've been seeing AD going a lot. I've been seeing AD going second round.
That might be where that might be what dicks him, that AD Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because AD, I done heard a lot of things about his diabetes. And it makes him have. Y'all think I'm bullshit?
Damn, no, why did you say it like that?
Because they said that shit makes his attitude terrible, and then they say he don't.
I'm just telling you. They did say that.
I don't know if that
his
correlates,
diabetes makes his attitude terrible. They said when he gets juiced up properly, then he's good to go.
But juice him the fuck up then. It should be no reason he out there not juiced up.
But then they also said that he don't handle it like an adult because he don't want to be juiced up properly. They say he just be throwing fucking temper tantrums, and it be when his blood sugar's off.
Unfortunately, you can't do that in the NFL, nigga.
Yeah, you can't. But that's why he's been dropping slowly to the second round.
Bring that fuck shit to Charlotte. Respectfully.
Because if we give you your insulin, we need you to take your insulin. We're not bullshitting with none of that.
No cap. For me, I'll do mine real quick. Mine is NFL Playoff Edition. I want Thursday night. Now, when y'all hear this, get it in ASAP.
NFL?
NBA playoffs. Thank you for correcting me. Get it in. He just wanted to.
I was just thinking they ain't never gonna see this fucking squeeze. I'm talking about the fucking playoffs.
Nah, facts. Get it in. Because a lot that we do is like the following day after the podcast releases. So when you hear it, you need to get it in. NBA playoff edition. Give me Lakers money line. Give me Knicks money line, give me Cavs money line, and give me Brandon Ingram to score 15 or more points. That's not that difficult.
The bitch had 12 the other night, but I digress.
That's not that difficult. Do you want me to tell you
what that is? Off of 17 shots.
That is minus 500 for Brandon Ingram to score 15 or more.
The bitch had 12 the other night off of 17 bitch ass shots.
Relax.
What is your plus, if it even is
868. It's plus 868. Plus 868.
No profit booster.
No profit booster. Plus 868.
Okay.
Lakers money line, Knicks money line, Cavs money line. BI to score 15 or more. Lock it in. It's probably the easiest money you'll make all season.
Because that one right beside you like to boost his shit up with profit.
And then,
profit booster. And then try to gas like that or something crazy.
It's crazy because I did one profit booster. And my shit was already at plus 7 something. So like.
Well, what's yours look like this week? I can read it. Do you want me to read it for you?
No, nigga, I can read it. So, New York Islanders over the Hurricanes. I hate to bet against my Canes, but I got to do it. The Dodgers, and just depending on the way they turn out tonight, I might not ever bet on them again. But the Dodgers over the Nationals. Xavier Worthy to be drafted before A.D. Mitchell.
Wow.
And the Sixers money line. And that's plus 1141.
Smoke, y'all.
Yeah.
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah. You better lock that in.
I was about to say, I would say yes.
You better lock that in. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, this is not financial advice.
Because if you think about it, really, like the Islanders,
I don't like the Islanders.
They're playing at home. They're playing at home in game 3.
The way I saw them cardiac Canes run the score up on them in the last 2 minutes of the game, them bitches scored 3 goals.
That's because the cardiac Canes was behind them.
Yeah,
the fans was behind them.
Yeah,
they ain't getting it off in New York.
PNC was turned up. I don't think they're getting that off in New York either. If you go down 3-0.
They did that shit and then beat somebody's ass. That leads me to believe that they're going to beat their ass the next game. They ran the score up like that at the end of the game and then mopped that nigga that tried to step up.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that part.
It
They
got
gave him that work.
Yeah,
he put that bitch right in a chokehold and
got-
slammed his ass up against the fucking glass.
Like that.
Yeah,
They started mopping shit up at the end of the game.
Like that,
Yeah,
bro.
they want
the score
the
up
chat.
and then beat their
They
ass.
want the chat. They started mopping shit. They had to throw us out the game, bro.
For real?
Yeah, they was tossing us, bro.
Damn, I didn't even tune in.
They was
Damn.
mopping shit.
What you got? Pick it
Now
up.
this right here, this is not financial advice. But if you want to fucking come up, plug this fucking ticket in. Plug this ticket in right now. Jaden Daniels to be drafted number 2 to the Washington Commanders. Dallas Turner to be the first D lineman or edge off the board. And Cooper DeJean to be the first cornerback selected in this year's draft. Plus 5,176.
Hey, yo, don't put that shit in.
5,176.
Hey, if y'all want to send money, then y'all send it to us. Just make a donation.
All you need
Don't
is
put
3.
it in.
You just need 3 fucking things to happen, and you're up. And you're fucking up.
Hey, listen
so
to
go
me.
ahead. Go ahead and listen to them if you want. Dallas Turner's a fucking lock. He's coming off the board first before any lineman. Promise you that.
Nigga,
Jaden Daniels
that
is
is
damn
okay.
near a lock
Hey, listen
at the
to
number
me.
2. And Cooper DeJean will be the first cornerback selected. I promise you. Go ahead and mark it down.
No.
Mark it
And
down.
I am not
mark
racist.
it down.
Yeah.
Mark it down.
I already told him, bro. I already told him.
I have no malintention when I say this. Now, how many starting cornerback in the NFL is of Caucasian descent?
Turn on the tape. Turn on the tape.
And he want
If the
me to take
if the bitch wore long sleeves, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Turn on the tape. Now go lock that shit in
Oh my God!
and get your come up.
I'm gonna say that juice is not worth the squeeze.
And get your just know
I might well
I
go
put
get
that
a
ticket
McChicken
in
and
with
some
a
other
game
shit.
that's going on tonight. The Rangers hockey game, and it gave me $10 to win like 716. So for me, the juice is worth the fucking squeeze.
You should have just sent me $10 if that was the case. Right or wrong?
I mean, yeah. Should have
Did
sent
she?
everybody $10.
Yeah, I'm about to say you should have just sent every subscriber we had $10. No cap.
Cooper.
But yeah, that is the juice worth the squeeze? Phenomenal segment that we came up with together as a team. I personally have loved doing it. I think it adds a different element. I mean, every single week, we just prove that we are just better than niggas. But that's arrogant, right? I shouldn't have said that.
Nah, but you should call out. Never mind.
No, I shouldn't. Actually, with that being said, rest in peace to I believe his name is Joe. I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm dead ass serious. Like, this isn't even a joke. This isn't something that like really was planned, I guess you could say. But rest in peace to him. I believe he was C3's co-founder, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Did you see that, Terrence?
I didn't.
Okay. But rest in peace to him. Like I said, I know that we've come on this podcast a bunch of different times and said a lot of different things about a lot of different people. But in all seriousness, rest in peace to him. I hope y'all over at C3 are straight. DM us whatever y'all need. We got y'all. Most of the time when we come up here talking shit, it's friendly competition. I'm not going to lie. Because we do like collaborate and we love meeting new content creators and things like that. So this is one of those moments that I just wanted to take and say rest in peace to him. Condolences to the C3 team. Everybody that was familiar with Joe, I believe that's his name. Like I said, if that's not correct, I apologize. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But I know he was a prominent voice within the Carolina Panthers fan base as well. Like I said, I believe he was the co-founder of C3. So I just wanted to take that quick second to say rest in peace to him. Because I did see that news. I think he passed away like 3 or 4 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, rest in peace and condolences to C3 and their team. And well, not to the C3 and their team, but rest in peace to Joe and condolences to their team. Let's see. Let's go ahead and make this phone call because I think I told my man. What is it, bro? I think I told bro that I was gonna call him way earlier, and I hope that he's not upset because I told him way earlier. But I got a question for him, and I need to hear his feedback because I have a feeling that y'all didn't see this report or this rumor, especially you, because I know you're not on Twitter. And when I say it, then I need immediate feedback and I need reactions because this is what I've been saying the whole time about your boy. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Hey, go grab me one.
You can't be talking to me.
I knew he wasn't talking to me. Won't no way.
Must be talking to himself.
Gotta be. Walk in front of the camera.
I mean,
You've done
you
it
ain't
before. It's simple.
You.
Yo, what's up? Hey, wake up, man. What's up?
What you mean wake up?
First and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and tell you because I'm not trying to set you up in any form or fashion. You are live on the podcast. Don't say anything incriminating, nothing like that. Just want to let you know.
The wire tap.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Aaron Duncan, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. It's what's today, Tuesday?
Tuesday, yes.
Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Check.
Couple days for the draft, man. I'm ready for the suspense to be over, man. All these speculations and Mark's getting on my nerves. So I'm ready.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to call and talk to you about, bro. Because I know for me personally, I'm one of those people I came to this conclusion, I guess you could say, when the whole CJ Stroud and Bryce Young thing was a huge, debacle, I guess you could say, just within the fan base and huge conversation happening. But I'm one of those guys that at this point, I really don't even care what we do. I just want it to be the right thing. So you're a little more insightful on the prospects, who we've had top 30 visits with. I know that the list is going around. A lot of offensive players were on that list, but I just wanted to give you a call. We wanted to have a brief conversation with you just about your feelings. I know that we talked about it on the pod that we shot last week. We already told the people they can go check that out now on your page, Unnecessary Bluntness, on your YouTube channel. But just kind of give us some feedback kind of on what you've been seeing, how you feel about the direction we should go, and just some of the rumors that have been going along as well.
Nah, I mean, you said it. It's heavily slanted towards offense. So that's a good sign because our offense was bad last year. So we need to make some moves. And I'm pretty much the same thing with you all. I mean, I'm in the weeds looking at the people, but we just need the right picks. We've blown so many picks. I mean, I can't remember what's the numbers where somebody told me like Scott Fitter was only like a handful. Maybe you can count on two hands out of the last like 3 or 4 drafts. How many of those guys are on our roster still? And we have guys that are playing on Saturdays in the UFL or guys that aren't in the league anymore. So we just need people that can come in and contribute, like not even like let's gamble on upside. Like what they did a lot of like high upside guys that maybe didn't produce, but they were good athletes. So like Scott Fitter like to gamble on upside. Like let's take some safe picks. Let's take a single or a double. We ain't got to go for home runs and go for broken strikeout. Let's get some singles and doubles, get on base. Let's lap the backboard a couple of times, get some dudes that can come in and contribute because we just need a roster overall, man. And we've been kind of in that weird spot where we were bad this past year, but we didn't have the picks. But in the past, we were kind of competitive enough that we didn't get a lot of draft capital and we blew that draft capital. And then you try to go out in free agency and spend money to make up for those missed picks, but then you spend bad money. So now you're cutting guys like Hayden Hurst early and stuff like that, or Bradley Bolster early. And so now you got dead money on the books. Now you don't have money to spend, and you don't have draft picks because you missed them. So we just need to kind of get things right. Like I said, get some clean reps, get some guys in here that can come in and help elevate the talent on the roster overall. Just to be specific, obviously receiver is going to be where everybody's looking offensively. And it just depends. We heard word about Dionte Johnson going to be the first read on every pass, and I'm 1,000% behind that. I'm 1,000% behind that. So that takes a little bit of pressure off whoever we draft at wide receiver, because I think what we got into trouble, and we talked about it before with Mingo, is he was drafted for a role that he was not even close to being ready for. So it really set him up for failure. Now we have a bona fide number one. We may even have a bona fide number two if you're good with Thielen, but we have another guy. Our rookie can come in and just get in where he fits in, and he's not going to have all that pressure on him to perform right away. So I think that we've been in a good spot and we're positioned to really go BPA. And even if we do BPA in this receiver, I think he's slated to be in a good position to kind of come in, get his legs up underneath him. And then as time goes on, get him more on his plate. And of course, next year he can step into a bigger role if that's what it takes.
Fair enough. Now, off of that, we actually just had a conversation about the comments that Dionte Johnson made, and I heard you say that you were fine with that you actually championed that stance. Is that any indication, in your opinion, that the Carolina Panthers won't go receiver 33 or 39?
No, not even a little bit. It could happen, but that. I mean, my mindset with Dionte before he even said that was he was going to be the man anyway. So this wasn't breaking news to me. This was like, okay, telling me that grass is green. Like, I expected him to be he's that type of guy. Like, if you watched what they played in Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett is horrible. He's horrible. And so, like, it would frustrate anybody. I think it really, really, really clouded over how good Dionte is. We saw him even with back end of his career, Ben Roethlisberger, him be productive, and the numbers support it. He's one of the best at getting open, and that's one of those guys that you want to be that first read. It's been a minute since we had one of those dudes that is the first read that can get open at will like him. It's been a minute, and so I'm fine with us running that offense through that, and then just letting everybody else eat off of that, because then he dictates coverages, and now you got Thielen getting money across the middle or underneath, and then, like I said, the rookie can get in where you fit in and stuff like that. So I think being able to have a player that actually impacts the defense that they have to account for, which we haven't had since Christian McCaffrey overall. I mean, DJ is DJ. I like DJ, but we haven't had a bona fide guy that everywhere he lines up, we need to know where he is, and that we can set up stuff off of that. It's been a minute, so I think I'm fine with that. And if he wants that, let's do it. If he get that Thielen treatment like last year, he's going to do numbers. He ain't gonna be no Bailey getting 1,000 yards. It's gonna be 1,100, 1,200 yards if you give him 110 something targets like he did Thielen. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I saw that you got some easy money the other day. I don't know when you took it, but I think they had his line at like 875 total.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me was a stain even before he even came out and said that he was going to be the X and be the first read on all progressions.
Yep.
And I just want to ask you this question, Dunc. Do you think, because I saw a rumor, unconfirmed, but I saw a rumor that said the coach, Canales, wants to see Bryce go under center more. Do you think that plays into what Dionte was talking about, being that first read, seeing that Bryce is going to take more snaps under center?
It could, and I like it because, I mean, we heard last year that he wasn't comfortable going under center, like, and then when Frank got fired, Thomas Brown started running him from under center, and like we even did okay doing that. So like, I'm all for that because you can go. The play action is more effective off of that. It helps kind of with your footwork and your rhythm and stuff like that, which I think is stuff that will put Bryce in structure that allows him to play more rhythm and be more accurate consistently. I think a lot of times they kind of just let him do what he wanted to with his mechanics without a ton of structure, which is fine. I mean, he's been throwing that way his whole life, but there's still a way you can add to that. And like having footwork and motions you have to go through and reads you have to go through based off of going under center, play action, 5-7 step drops. That's going to help him be more, like I said, be more accurate and be more consistent. You can replicate 5-step drops and 7-step drops more than that 1-2 drift that he does sometimes in the shotgun. So I think going under center more is going to help our passing game tremendously, mainly in that play action.
For sure. Now, one of the prospects that we've been looking at, and you know, just based off of his own words, we've had a lot of conversations with him. Xavier Leggete, he had a couple of comments to make just in regards to the Carolina Panthers and, you know, him damn near being crowned number 33 if he is, unfortunate in not making it out of the first round. How did you feel about that? Because that was something that was kind of circulating within the Panthers community on Twitter and stuff like that. How did you feel about those comments with him saying, you know, that I'm guaranteed bare minimum to go 33? What did you think about that?
I mean, the first thing about his comments is the accent. I mean, this dude got one of the craziest accents I've ever heard in my life. Like I've been telling folks, I was born and raised in the South. I was in South Carolina from birth to the age of 18. I got family in some of the backwoods of South Carolina. I've never heard a dude like country in my life. I call him high end country, but I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, if the Panthers didn't want that word getting out, they should have told him to keep his mouth shut, or they shouldn't have told him all that. But they've been meeting with him. They met with him every step of the way, from the Senior Bowl to the Combine. They brought him in for a visit. They actually put him through some of his drills at his pro day. And then, like you said, they told him, and he's been saying that. He's been on record twice saying that they've told him that there's a buzz in their building about him, and that if he's there at 33, and it could be gamesmanship by him, because he even said people don't. Yeah, and I think so too. It could help him, because that first round money is different. But
most definitely.
I heard. I mean, and he even said it before that. Like, he's heard from teams anywhere from number 15 overall, so in the middle of the first, anywhere to early second. So I think he kind of knows what he expects. Just because he got an accent don't mean he's dumb. He probably put some feelers out there, because he know that money make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Being in that first round and being in that second round. But I would love to keep that dude home, man. I'm all about the homegrown talent and keep it home. It feels like they want to be here and they can be productive. I'm high on Leggete. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of him, but I'm pretty high for him. And like I said, being in that role where he can get in where he fits in, that's the type of guy that can really be productive early on for us, because he's one of them dudes, just give him the ball and let him run, man.
For sure. And I know that we've had this is our second conversation now just about the draft and you know, kind of our priorities individually and kind of what we want to see the Carolina Panthers do. One of the things that you made me think about on our podcast that released last night on your channel, Unnecessary Bluntness, one of the things that you made me think about when we were having that conversation was the secondary, more specifically cornerback. If we were to take a cornerback at 33 or 39, who are some of the guys that you've been, you know, that you've taken a look at and feel comfortable if we went in their direction?
I'm 100% on getting the offense right, just for the record. But if Nate Wiggins from Clemson falls for some reason, maybe because they think he's too light or something like that, I'm running to the podium and not running to the podium, I'm camping out at the draft stage overnight for day 2, and I'm turning that card in. This dude is locked down. If Kool-Aid McKinstry, same way. I understand we need receivers, but this class is deep. But if Kool-Aid or a guy like Nate is there at 33, a first-round talent that falls in your lap, you have to make that happen. For one, the potential of having 2 young corners on rookie deals like J.C. Horn and a guy like Nate Wiggins, both corners are 6'1", great length. They kind of can get grabby a little bit, but they're going to talk trash and get in your grill. Just having those type of lockdown corners, they could easily be the best tandem in the league in 2 to 3 years, in my opinion. 2 is JC insurance. 1, for the short term. If he gets hurt again, you have a young dude that can come in and start. Because if JC's hurt, Dane Jackson's your number 1. He's a backup guy. I think he'll come in and compete, but I don't feel good about him being CB1 if JC misses time again. But in the long-term insurance, let's say you do get one. You don't have to give JC his 5th-year option if you don't want to. The deadline for the 5th-year option is a few days after the draft. It's May 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to be like, I got me another rookie corner on the contract. I'm not going to give you that 5th year. I'm going to make you earn it. And then you can do that. And then you have a little bit of insurance. If JC gets hurt again, you can let him walk if you want to. Or you can negotiate and sign him to a cheap deal going forward. Or, like I said, you have that insurance. But I also think that they're kind of moving with the assumption that Stephon Gilmore may be in their back pocket. Just seeing some of the words I've heard, even Panthers.com said that secondary was a medium priority for me. But to me, like I said before, the house is on fire in terms of the cornerback position, because I love JC, but even with a healthy JC, we're going to need more help.
Yeah, that's a great perspective, man. That's great perspective. Well, that's all I have. Do y'all have anything for Dunc?
Nah, appreciate you jumping on. Know we had some of these similar conversations on when we were in Atlanta, but yeah, appreciate you jumping on. Definitely a different perspective than what I thought, especially when it comes to the cornerback room. But I mean, when you mention a guy like Dame Jackson, I mean, a lot of guys don't even know who that is. So it's like you got to start thinking a little bit like, do we? But yeah.
Yeah, it's burning. Nah, definitely, Dunc. As always, we definitely appreciate you. And personally, I appreciate you for hopping on and telling them, because I just spent like 40 minutes trying to say the same things that you did. But when you're over here saying it, they're like, that's good.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
but
that
when
one
I'm
time.
saying it, they sit here arguing with me. So I appreciate
I still don't
it.
agree. Like,
so I appreciate it.
Look, it's been dark in Carolina. Them post Josh Norman days until we found. I mean, even Bradbury's a little suspect. But some years that we tried to rebuild our cornerback room after after Josh Norman, it was dark, bro. I remember us getting cooked like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not trying to go back like that. I'm trying to make sure we have something in the secondary, man. So that's where my mindset is. But if he's not there, let's go receiver. I mean, because I don't really think there's any edges that'll fall that I'm like in love with. But there's some corners. Corners, man, they always gonna be worth their weight in gold, man. And we got some answers short term for edge with Clowney and Wanham, but we don't really have any kind of short term answers right now for the cornerback unless we go to Gilmore. And even then, we still need something because he could end up being cornerback one if worst case scenario happens with JC. So it's just a lot to think about, man. They just need to be fluid on this weekend, man. Don't be stupid. Don't overtrade. Don't reach for nobody. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're in a good spot. Like, having the first pick of day 2, you're in a good spot. There's not that 10-minute clock to feel that pressure. You know what I'm saying? You have a whole night to check your board, reset, see who fell, make some phone calls, see what everybody's thinking. And then you can trade back if you want to. If not, feel good. You get the pick of the litter at the top of the draft in that first day. And so the J2 doesn't start till 6, 7 o'clock on Friday.
Yep.
So you're going to have 16, 17 hours in between your pick versus everybody else in the first round. They 10-minute clock. So it sucks that we're not in the first round, but I think we're in a good spot having 2 top 40 picks, man. So I'm kind of curious to see what direction they'll go. It'll say a lot about where their head is at because we don't really know a lot about this, man. There's a lot of questions. We talked about Dan Morgan and the expectations, but none of us really know what to expect. So I'm going to be paying attention, man. So I appreciate y'all having me on, dog, for real.
Of course, bro. Of course. Y'all all, the door is always open. If y'all don't already find him, where?
At UB Sports Talk on YouTube. That's where the podcast goes live. The Panther Banter Podcast, episode 5. Actually, it's premiering. Well, not as we speak, but I guess it'll be whenever they hear it. But it's going up now, man. It's a great conversation. It was a lot of fun too. So make sure y'all check it out. And of course, I'm Dunc on Demand on all my social medias. If you want to follow me on Twitter, mainly that's where I'm at and where I do most of my damage. So I appreciate y'all.
For sure, man. We appreciate you, bro. Thanks for taking some time out of your evening to talk with us, bro. I'll hit you up
Yes,
soon.
sir. All right.
Peace. Great perspective.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to ask him one more question, but I just know it would have spurred a whole 30-minute debate.
What about what?
About Bryce. Like, so say the pick, because it just popped into my head as he was, like, ending. Like, he mentioned having the first pick in the second round. If the Panthers had the first pick this year, didn't have to give it up last year to get Bryce, do you still keep Bryce, or do you touch one of these quarterbacks coming out?
Well, it was a phenomenal segue. I don't know if you did it intentionally, but there was a report that came out from Joe Pearson today on X. Joe. Shout out Joe. That's one of the rare ones that I fuck with as it pertains to Panthers media. But this is a direct quote from an article. This was published on The Athletic, where Joe Pearson is employed. It says, quote, a month after Dave Canales indicated at the owners' meetings the Panthers would keep 3 quarterbacks, we've heard some buzz that Canales and general manager Dan Morgan could take one during the draft.
So,
one of the ones being named,
Spencer?
Milton from Tennessee. I don't know if he drops. I don't know what we do, but I just need y'all's reaction. Because I know when he made those comments, he specified and said he wanted it to be a veteran brain, a veteran mind.
Yeah.
I actually have.
That is not the case.
Can I touch that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course.
I have something very funny about Joe Milton, actually, because y'all know me. I was high on him at the start of this whole process.
Yes.
And then I actually looked into him, and I watched somebody break down his film. And the way they put this was like, if you want somebody that can throw 80 yards on a rope, go get Joe Milton. If you want somebody that can throw 10 yards on a rope, don't go get Joe Milton because he's still going to throw 80 fucking yards. There's no control on Joe Milton's arm. It's just it's a cannon, and that's it. There's no touch. There's no commit. It's a straight. It's straight for bombs. It's straight cannon. It's straight heat. I don't know if I'm as high on Joe Milton as I once was.
Well, detach Joe Milton from the conversation. What is your – actually, I'll go to you. What is your immediate reaction to that? Because, I mean, all of us are aware, and I'm sure if you're watching, you're aware as well of what we moved to go get Bryce Young. We saw what happened last year. I've been extremely critical of him. I'm going to take my bias away for this conversation. We understand the situation around him was less than ideal. You had a head coach who we believe will not be a head coach ever again in the NFL, who shouldn't have really gotten another opportunity, who didn't have another opportunity on the table from anybody else besides the Carolina Panthers. You had a subpar offensive line, one of the largest regressions, one of the worst regressions we've ever seen from any player, and what we saw from Ikem Ekwonu. And then your number one receiver was a 33-year-old Adam Thielen. So we understand the situation around Bryce. But what is your reaction to that? Because to me, when I read it, I know that we kind of brought that conversation up. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago when we were talking about, is the clock ticking on Bryce? Because if he has another season like last year, we can't continue to sacrifice years and years of our franchise. So what is your immediate reaction just to that small little excerpt from Joe Person?
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, I think it contradicts everything they said as far as bringing in a veteran presence to fill that third quarterback slot. But, I mean, we all know that realistically in this league, a quarterback gets around 2 to 3 years to kind of make their staple with a team. A team can kind of see what direction they need to go in when it comes to a quarterback in about that 2 to 3 year time span. And I think it really just depends on if they are holding Bryce to the fire for that first year. Because I think, like, they have to know, like we know, that he wasn't in the best situation to succeed. So, like, I don't know if they would, like, give him that year back. Like, hey, like, we fucked up.
With a new regime, do you not have to give him that year?
Yeah,
back?
I would.
Wouldn't that be the conversation?
Yeah, I would think so. But also, I mean, I'm not wasting my top couple picks on a quarterback. But I think that, like, if a guy that was pretty good in college falls in, like, one of those later rounds, then, I mean, I don't hate it. Like,
do you have an example off the top of your head that you could think of?
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
That would be a hell no for me.
Yeah, no.
That would be a
talking
fuck
about a guy
no
who
for
had a
me.
good college career, though. He did. I mean, if we're being objective, we're not thinking about Spencer Rattler coming out the 5-star recruit. We're talking about Spencer Rattler, who, quite frankly, failed at Oklahoma and rebuilt himself as a new quarterback at South Carolina and actually had really good numbers in the SEC with not shit around him. Spencer Rattler's turned his career around, and he's become actually a pretty good quarterback.
I watch him play, and I just don't. Yeah, that's a no for me.
But he had nothing around him.
Yeah, Xavier Leggete. He's about to go fucking first round.
But it'd be the same thing with, like, Bryce. He had Adam Thielen, who went for a ban. I'm just saying, he went for a ban and no offensive line.
Come on, dog.
It's the same situation. Legitimately, it's the same
College
situation.
in the NFL.
And it's the same situation that Bryce had in the NFL at the college level. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm not going to lie. If we waste a pick, not to cut you off, if we waste a pick on Spencer Rattler, because I believe you would have to get him, 4th, 5th round? And I don't even know. One of those rounds, I don't believe we have a pick. I don't think we have a 5th round pick this year. But I could be mistaken on that. But just for the sake of the conversation, if we waste a 4th or 5th round on him, I'm going to be blown.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to be pissed.
That's fair. That's not my stance on this situation. I'm just saying that's an example of a quarterback. If he slides to the later end of the draft, is worth taking a flyer on.
6th or 7th round.
Worth taking a flyer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I'm saying my answer to the question is no. You don't draft a quarterback this year because one. Bryce's situation last year. One, it's not fair to Bryce to go ahead to put pressure on him like that with another young quarterback coming in. And it's also not fair to that young quarterback when you have Bryce, who's young as well and is supposed to be your franchise guy, to put him in a situation where he'll never see the field. So it's not fair to either parties. And in addition, you don't really have that much draft capital this year, so why waste it on a position where you already invested so much the previous season? When if Bryce really shits the bed, you take into account what he did last year. You don't completely throw it out the window. You take it into account, and you see what he does this year. Now, if he shits the bed this year, quarterback next year, for sure, but not this season. You give Bryce one more year.
With how deep the quarterback class is this year, if you're being proactive, would you not take the quarterback this year? If that's the stance in
like,
the approach.
I agree with you. Like, I'm not prioritizing that over all of the other needs that we have to fill.
Yeah.
But, like, if you have, like, I don't really know a lot of other quarterbacks that's coming out outside of the top ones. But if you have one of those guys, which those top quarterbacks aren't going to drop, but if you have one of those guys to drop in the later round, like, I'm not going to crucify them for doing that.
I'm setting my guy up for the best season possible. I'm giving you everything that we got. Because that way, at least if you shit the bed, now we have a team that's in place that another young quarterback can step into and lead us to victory because you couldn't get it done. So we're going to make sure we shore up everything, and we're going to find out if you truly are the guy. We did everything to set you up. We're going to find out if you truly are what we thought you were when we brought you in here. And if you're not, we got next year to replace you. But not only that, we don't have to go into the draft. We can also go into the free agency market. There's going to be plenty of quarterbacks. I think what we're seeing a trend in the NFL now where older quarterbacks, when they're coming off their deals, they're getting signed to these other teams that are a little bit more ready to go. You slide in that quarterback who might not be a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, one of these game-changing quarterbacks, but a guy who's a game manager, Cam was not a game manager. Cam was not a game manager. Let me clear that.
We were tracking. Well, yeah. I was tracking. I'm with you.
One of these game managers. Slide them in and let them take you as far as they can.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those situations, like, if I'm taking my bias away, the first point that I'll make is, and I think that, actually I won't speak for y'all, but I would say if I felt the tonality of the podcast and just what I believe the response would be to that, I don't think that Bryce Young will shit the bed this year. I know. And you said earlier that the expectation for this season was progression. I think that you'll see a significant amount from Bryce Young, a significant amount of progression from Bryce Young this year, just based off the situation around him increasing significantly, getting a lot better. I think that we can all agree that the offseason that we've had so far up until this point, now this is pre-draft, the Carolina Panthers, Dan Morgan, Dave Tepper, et cetera, they could go into this draft and dick it all up. That is a possibility. I'll be honest. You can fuck up and go 33-39, miss. That is a possibility. So I don't want to say it like it's written in stone. However, up to this point, the Carolina Panthers have been one of the more active teams. Actually, I believe the second most active team on the free agency market. I think that they improved significantly at every position. Offensively, they improved at every position. You go out, you get Robert Hunt, you get Damian Lewis. You have the ability now to move Austin Corbett to center, which is cool. I think that we do need another center. That's another stance that I've seen a lot of people taking that I've kind of shifted on as well. Later rounds, however, because I'm under the belief we need weapons around Bryce with those 2 second-round picks. But you got better with the offensive line. Then you go get him a premier wide receiver one, like we just had the conversation with Dunc, like we had the conversation earlier. So I don't think that, all of that being said, I don't think that Bryce Young shits the bed this year. I respect and understand your point, and I might even say that I kind of teeter along agreeing with it, that it would be an unfair situation to put that young quarterback in, hypothetically, if you go get one this season. However, if you're being proactive, I can see you going ahead and getting that guy in the door now. And I wouldn't be mad at that, because I'm not going to lie to you, I don't want to have to go through a season, this is year one with a rookie guy. I'd rather have a rookie guy that is getting his NFL work in. He's already working with Dave Canales in that offensive unit, already having an understanding of the playbook. So if Bryce Young hypothetically does shit the bed, then we can go ahead and plug him in, and we're ready to rock instead of having to go to the free agency market. But that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, it just really depends on where that guy drops.
And who it is that drops.
Exactly. Because you have a lot of other needs, honestly. And you can't dick it off by trying to go think for the future. Even in certain situations you have to, but when it comes to a quarterback that you gave up heaven and earth to get, and that's the reason you're in that situation now, then you got to be very strategic when it comes to that.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I see you're about to piss on yourself.
Pretty much.
I'll be having my joint on D&D, so my fault. I didn't even see it until later. Both of y'all have children's bladders.
fuck?
I mean, bro, we've been recording for an hour and a half, drinking fucking brews.
Yeah, I mean,
I took one sip of mine. I was peer pressured. Hey, why didn't you go get another?
hey, don't dump it on my carpet. Don't dump it on my carpet.
I'll make you clean it up too.
Yeah, right.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man.
That's how this career works.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Fucking imagine.
Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We will be back next week again. If you got through this whole episode, we did have a premiere with Dunc last night at 7 p.m. Go check that out. Unnecessary Bluntness. Go check that out. Phenomenal opportunity. Shout out to Dunc for coming on the podcast today, giving us that opportunity to go down to Atlanta and do some work with him as well. A lot more coming over the summer, as well as, you know, when we play Atlanta. We got a lot of big things coming. Subscribe, like, comment, all of that. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll talk next week. They about to piss on themselves.
ATL, you got my heart. Love the city, love the city.
I ain't got no words, bro.
Just
Love the city, love the city.
They don't see the losses. Seen so many coffins, niggas tired of death. I was surprised that you ain't slide behind your dead homie.